In this video, I'll discuss about the fertilization, the fruit, parts of fruit, functions of fruit, seed, types of seed. Clear? So now let's start with the fertilization. Fertilization follows pollination. On reaching the stigma of a flower of the same kind of plant, the pollen grain germinate to form a tube which enters into the style. This tube is called the pollen tube. Pollen tube carries the male gamete at its tip. The pollen tube lengthens through the style and enters the ovary. There, pollen tube releases its male cells or male gametes which fuse with the female gamete in the ovule to produce a zygote. The fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization. So what is fertilization? You can write the fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization. The ovule containing the fertilized cell develops into a seed. The covering of the ovule gives rise to the seed coat and the ovary turns into a fruit enclosing the seeds. Fate of each part of the flower after fertilization means what? Means after fertilization what happens with each part of the flower. So after fertilization, ovary remains attached to the stalk of the flower and grows into a fruit. Ovules inside the ovary develop into seeds, and the other parts like sepals, petals, they all fall off. Now next is fruit. A fruit is the ripened ovary. For most people, a fruit is a sweet, fleshy, edible item. Tomato, pea and pumpkin are also fruits of plants, although they are commonly called vegetables. Vegetables means what? Means it can be any part of a plant, like it can be root, stem, leaf or fruit which can be cooked and eaten. Now next is the false fruit. Clear? So apple and pear, you must have seen, you must have eaten many times. So apple and pear are different kinds of fruits. In these fruits, the thalamus of the flower becomes the main fleshy part of the fruit. Clear? In general fruits what happened? The ovary becomes the fleshy part, but in apple and pear the thalamus becomes the main fleshy part of the fruit, while the ovary remains a small central part containing seeds, and such type of fruits are called false fruits. Parts of a fruit. A fruit contains two parts, a pericarp or fruit wall and the seeds. So let's discuss first about the pericarp. The pericarp or fruit wall develops from the wall of the ovary. It may be thick or thin depending on the kind of fruit. In tomato and papaya, pericarp is soft and fleshy, while in gram the pericarp is dry. The pericarp contains three parts: epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. Epicarp is the outer thin protective covering of the fruit, whereas mesocarp is the sweet, fleshy, edible middle layer of the fruit, and endocarp is the inner hard part of the fruit that contains seeds. So now let's discuss about the fleshy fruits and dry fruits. A fleshy fruit is one in which the entire pericarp is soft and fleshy, like grape, tomato, papaya, etc. In the case of the mango, cherry and plum, the epicarp and mesocarp are pulpy, but the endocarp is hard and encloses the seed. In a dry fruit, the pericarp is not pulpy and encloses the seeds, like a pea pod. In the pea pod, the pod is the pericarp and the pea is the seed which is enclosed within. In a walnut, the hard shell is the pericarp enclosing the edible walnut. The so-called dry fruits such as almond, walnut, raisins, they are actually dried fruits, not dry fruits. Clear? Now, Next is the functions of a fruit. So the first function, that fruits protects seeds from the unfavorable environmental conditions. Second function, fruits sometimes develop various structural devices to attach itself to animal fur. Thus, it helps in dispersing the seed. And third function, fruits store food inside them. When birds or animals eat it, the seed inside gets dispersed in areas far away from the parent plant. Now, next topic is the seed. The ovules after fertilization develops into seeds. Hence, a seed is defined as a fertilized ovule. So, if give one word, the fertilized ovule, then you will answer seed. Seed formation occurs as a result of sexual reproduction. Now there are two types of seeds. They are first dicotyledons seed and second monocotyledons seed. So first let's discuss about the cotyledon. That what is cotyledon? Some seeds when opened show two thick parts or seed leaves. They are called as cotyledons. Sometimes they show two thick parts, sometimes they show one thick part. So on the basis of this, these are of two types. So when seeds have only one seed leaf, then it is called as a monocotyledons seed. Clear? And the example is maize, rice, wheat. Whereas the seeds with two cotyledons, means two seed leaf, is called dicotyledons. And examples are what? Pea, gram, bean, etc. So first let's discuss about the structure of the bean seed. Bean seed is a dicot seed. Clear? The bean seed is protected by a thin greenish outermost covering called seed coat. Seed coat protects the seed from insects and bacteria as well as from mechanical injury. The seed coat is made up of two parts. The outer exposed part is called testa and the inner part is called tegmen. It is a thin membrane and lies under the testa. On the inner concave side of the seed, there is a scar called hilum, which marks the place where the seed was attached to the fruit wall. Above the hilum is a small pore. That is, pore is called micropyle. Clear? Micro means small and pyle means passage. So, what is the function of the micropyle? The function of the micropyle is that it absorbs and allows as much water as is required for germination. On removing the testa and the tegmen from a soaked bean seed, you will find two fleshy seed leaves called cotyledons. Cotyledons contain stored food material which is used by the seedling for the growth. What we eat as washed pulses like the pea or gram are actually the cotyledons of their seeds. In between the two cotyledons is located the delicate embryo which consists of a radicle and a plumule. The radicle develops into a root while the plumule develops into a shoot. So if the question is what develops into a root after fertilization, then you will write what? Yes, the radicle develops into a root whereas plumule develops into a shoot. Now next let's discuss about the structure of the maize grain. Maize grain is a monocot seed. The maize grain has only one cotyledon. Cut open a soaked maize grain through the middle, and when you will study its half, you will see the structure as it is shown on the screen. The maize grain is almost triangular in shape. lower narrow end of the grain is yellowish white in color, whereas the upper broad part is dark yellow in color. The seed coat of the maize grain is fused with the pericarp or fruit wall. This is a thin membranous layer and forms the outermost part. Now let's discuss the difference between the bean seed and maize seed. So the first difference, bean seed is a dicot, whereas maize grain is what? Monocot. Bean seed endosperm. In bean seed endosperm is absent, whereas in maize grain endosperm is present. Third difference, in bean seed cotyledons store food, whereas in maize grain endosperm stores food. Fourth difference, in bean seed embryo is larger, whereas in maize grain embryo is small. And the fifth difference, in bean seed, seed is contained separately in a fruit, whereas in maize grain, seed coat and fruit wall are fused to form a grain. So now next topic I'll discuss in the next video.